I found this interesting chapter in Bible, Isaiah chapter 42. This is a parable, a prophecy, where God talks about His servant who will come and who will call people towards Him, who will call people to worship one God. And the Christian apologist will say that this particular chapter is prophesying Jesus. But if you read this chapter, you'll understand that this chapter is actually not prophesying Jesus. Let me tell you why. Let's read the chapter. Uh, go ahead and read the chapter. Behold, my servant, whom I uphold, my elect one, in whom my soul delights. I have put my spirit upon him. He will bring forth justice to the Gentiles. Here, this verse is talking about his servant that will be sent to would bring justice to the Gentiles. However, Jesus was specifically sent for the Jews, not for the Gentiles, and we know this from Bible, where Gentile women came to Jesus and he didn't want to talk to her, and he just shushed her away, and he told her that I'm not sent for you. I'm just sent here to call the Jews and call the children of Israel. That's it. However, this verse is saying that this specific servant will call the Gentiles, will be sent for the Gentiles. Then let's read the rest. He will not cry out, not raise his voice, not cause his voice to be heard in the street. A bruised reed he will not break, and a smoking flax he will not quench. He will bring forth justice for truth. He will not fail nor be discouraged till he has established justice. Um, I can argue that Jesus failed because he was killed, right? But this is arguable. Um, okay, let's go ahead read the rest of the chapter. Thus says God, the Lord, who created the heavens and stretched them out, who spread forth the earth and that which comes from it, who gives breath to the people on it and spirit to those who walk on it. I, the Lord, have called you in righteousness, and you will hold your hand. I will keep you and give you as a covenant to the people, as a light to the Gentiles, to open blind eyes, to bring out prisoners from the prison, those who sit in the darkness from the prison house. I am the Lord. That is my name and my glory. I will not give to another, nor my praise to carved images. Behold, former things have I come to pass, and new things I declare. Jesus himself said that he is not sent to preach any new laws. He was just sent to confirm the old laws, the laws of the Moses, laws of the uh, previous prophets. That's it. However, in this verse, it is clearly saying that these new prophet who will be sent, new servant of God, will preach new things, I declare. Then it says that sing to the Lord a new song. And we know from the Bible that this means that a new book, new revelation. Jesus didn't get any new book. He just confirmed the old laws. That's it. The old laws, old books that he came and confirmed and corrected and preached the same old laws. And told his followers, Jews specifically, obviously, to follow the old laws. But this new servant will be sent with a new book, new song, and he will call people towards new things that was unheard in the old books. His praise from the ends of the earth, and you go down to the sea. All that is in it. You coastlands and you inhabitants of them, let the wilderness and its cities lift up their voices. The villages that Kedar inhabits, let the inhabitants of the Selah sing. Let them shout from the top of the mountains. This is the most important line that does not go with the prophecy of Jesus, because Jesus never came to Kedar and Selah. Where is Kedar and Selah? We know from the historical reference, Kedar and Selah is located on Arab. It is specifically located on the region of Mecca and Medina, and Jesus never came to Mecca and Medina. So, how come we can say that it is a prophecy about Jesus when this new servant will come for the people who inhabitants of Kedar and Sela, specifically Mecca and Medina, for Arab? Let them give glory to the Lord and declare his praise in the coastlands. The Lord shall go forth like a mighty man. He shall stir up his zeal like a man of war. He shall cry out, yes, shout aloud. He shall prevail against his enemies. So this new servant will be an warrior who will engage in war. Jesus never engaged in war. He said the opposite. He was not going to fight in any kind of war. He will not engage in any kind of violence because it was not commanded to him. He will, by the way, engage in war in his second coming. But Jesus never engaged in war. So you can never say that this verse is about Jesus when he never preached with war. And who did engage in war? It was Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, who engaged in war. All these prophecies, the full chapter talks about Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Nothing in this chapter the resembles what Jesus was, where Jesus was, and what Jesus preached. Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's see what the chapter says next. I have held my peace a long time. I have been still and restrained myself. Now I will cry like a woman in labor. I will pant and gasp at once. I will lay waste the mountains and hills, dry up all their vegetation. I'll make the rivers coastlands, and I'll dry up the pools. I'll bring the blind by the way they did not know. I will lead them in the paths they have not known. I will make darkness light before them, and crooked places straight. These things I will do for them, and not forsake them. They shall be turned back. They shall be greatly ashamed, who trust in carved images, who say to the molded images, you are gods. This is talking about idol worshippers. Jesus were not sent for the idol worshippers. He was sent for the Jews who were misguided by however, the Jews were not worshipping idols. They were still worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the God of Bible. However, this servant will be sent for the idol worshippers who will call upon carved images, and they will call these images and idols God. You are our gods. How come this whole chapter is talking about Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and you are saying that this talks about Jesus? It is not talking about Jesus. This is the whole chapter. Whole chapter is a prophecy about Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him.